Hello YouTube, my name is Carla and this is my new channel, LunAscention, and since I'm new here, this is my introduction video. And while I really don't like to use labels because, let's face it, they box, and this is just counter our multi-dimensional nature, sometimes, as in an introduction video, it can be useful so you can know what I'm about. But I'm a psychic and medium. I work mostly with tarot cards. I'm a healer, I'm an artist, and of course a multi-dimensional being. And this channel is going to be based on spiritual topics, with a focus on doing forecasts, so readings. And I'd really like it to be quite an interactive space, so my idea for my first sort of series of videos, which you can give feedback on, is to do bi-monthly forecasts, where I'll do a reading for each specific moon sign. So I'd like to be moon focused because I really feel that our moon sign is about our transformational energy. It's about the more hidden, quiet aspects of ourselves, and it's about that deep inner work, and that really for me is very, very important. And I do feel that most of the channels that have a similar nature to this are very focused on sun and rising signs, which of course are hugely important, but I think that it's lacking in terms of moon energy and moon aspects. So I'd like to release a series of videos just before the full moon and the new moon, which will hopefully help you on your path of transformation. I'd really like to just be a partner in that transformation, and of course this relationship is always reciprocal, so I do expect that you'll help me along my path of transformation as well. So yeah, focused energies on healing, transformation, and working with the moon energies. So if you don't know your moon sign already, it's useful to have your exact time of birth, because the moon changes signs every sort of 2.5 days. So if you were born near where it changes over, you need the exact time. If you're more towards the middle of that changeover, then you don't need the exact time. If you don't have the exact time, you can look at both signs where you're sort of in between and decide for yourself what you are, because you know yourself best. You know what your internal pullings are about, and you get to choose which one you are then. So I'd really love to hear your opinion about that idea. I'll be working on those videos today as well, and I would like to pull a few cards. Well, I've already pulled a few cards because this is not my first time shooting the introduction video, and the focus and the lighting was all from the previous ones. And hopefully this one's going to work. But the first card we get is from a deck I made myself, and I don't know if you can see there. This is protection, and it's about the protection already being in place. And so, to set the tone for the channel, this is a protected space, because of course it's definitely a thing of me facing my fears, putting myself out there in this way. And this is also a reminder for you, the viewer, that you have the ability to call in that protection. You are guided, you are loved, you have angels, spiritual guides, ancestors, whichever terminology you prefer to use, but there are energies that protect you and guide you, and may they protect you and guide you. The next card that I have is water, and I think this is really a wonderful card to come up, especially in terms of being moon focused, because water is ruled by the moon, it's pulled by the moon, and especially for those of us who are incarnated in feminine bodies, of course the moon affects all of us as well, but probably more notably so in the female body. And it affects our moods, our energy levels, and working with these natural cycles can be so empowering in understanding when it is best for us to do certain work, certain rituals. And yeah, I'd really like to be a partner in working through that process. Also, waters speak to our deep-seated emotions and our relationships. Let's start with emotions, because emotions really are a wonderful tool and guide. And while honoring our joyful, happy, peaceful emotions is so important, and it really is our job to pull ourselves into those spaces, we also need to honor our more lower emotions, our anger, our fear, our sadness, our depression. We must hold space for these emotions too, for they are our guides. They are our direct line of receiving guidance from our spirits. And so we must honor when we feel fear, when we feel anger. We must honor and hold space for those emotions and release them. Because the thing is, when we feel angry, we recognize that there is something that needs to be transformed and needs to be changed. And our point of transformation is the self. That's where we can affect change. We can't control all of the outer circumstances, but we can control our reaction to it, and we can control how we transform within ourselves. That is where our transformational power is. And it is in doing that self-work that we are able to affect change in the world around us. Relationships with those around us, absolutely so important. We are so interconnected. We are one. And so honoring those around us, honoring our boundaries, learning how to set boundaries, learning how to harvest and maintain positive, healthy, healing relationships. It can be seen as hard work, but it is so necessary. It is so necessary for us to go to those spaces. But what I'd like to place more importance on is the relationship with the self. Because our outer relationships are really just a reflection of where we are within ourselves and how we see ourselves. So, self-love. Self-love is so important in nurturing that self-relationship. And so may this channel be a stepping stone and a partner in building and maintaining and creating those divine, beautiful, deeper, transformational relationships with the self. Self-love chats, yes. And then I've also pulled from the Crystal Visions Tarot deck, the Wheel of Fortune, which I think is a great omen for the channel, that things may turn in favor, not only for the channel, of course, that's a bit self-centered, but that the channel may be a part of the transformation of the world, a part of creating a new world. Because let's face it, we're in a time of pandemic, coronavirus, and this can be incredibly stressful, but I'd really like to highlight the ways in which this allows us to look at the state of the world. It has allowed a lot of people to sit back and reflect not only on their own lives, but the state of society around them, because every single one of us has a responsibility to affect that change. And so may this channel be a part of creating that new world that is based in the heart space, heart-centered living. May it be so. And then we have Five of Pentacles. And Five of Pentacles is about things turning in favor, things looking better. And this is really about materially. And so I really do hope that this channel will bring a lot of beautiful discussions, a lot of beautiful, tangible transformations and changes. And may it be a space of support and discussion. And then we have the Justice card. And I really love this Justice card because it's that reminder that while there appears to be so much injustice in the world. We have racism, we have disease, we have classism, we have sexism, and all of these awful isms. We are here carnated in this space, looking through a very small microscopic view. We are unable to see the greater view. And the justice card comes down to say that in the greater scheme of things, in the unfolding of the entire universe, things balance out. And each one of us has an important role to play in this. So, we are exactly where we need to be right now in this very moment. And may it be so. So if you like what I'm about, please hit subscribe. I also do a live tarot reading session on Instagram every week at LunAscention. And I'm really looking forward to just building a beautiful community here. Thank you.